Greetings, magical creatures, and welcome to the lair of the Reclusive dragon. To begin, I'm creating an armature with 20 gauge copper wire, and I'm making sure to go ahead and add a loop at the top of the earring so that I can put an O-ring through that later and connect it to an earring hook. I'm interlacing some much thinner wire between these 4 phalanges so that it creates basically a webbing between each piece of the wing. This is going to help me give the wing a better shape and some more stability. Now I'm going to bend each wing in the direction that I want it to go so that it creates a nice curve, and then hold them up together so that I can compare to make sure that the curves are symmetrical. I'm going to start by using some Sculpting Ultralight to create the basic wing shape. I am pressing it between the wires and then shaping up the edges. The Sculpting Ultralight is excellent, especially for something like earrings when you don't want a lot of weight. If you saw my first dragon sculpture video, you will know that I had a lot of issues with the wings as I had not figured out exactly how I wanted to do this yet. But when I did a commission of a dragon sculpture last August, this is the technique that I used, and it worked really well, and that was on a much larger scale than these earrings. I baked the Sculpting Ultralight and allowed it to cool before I continued sculpting, and that way I had a firm base with which I was not going to smush or manipulate while I was working. I'm just using some Super Sculpey to help finish up my design. I'm adding kind of a billowing effect to the wings by adding some snakes of clay on the back and smoothing them out. To the front of the wings, I am accentuating the phalanges along with the knuckle bones between each wing. And then I'm going to go in and give some texture to the wings so that it looks like there are striations between each one. Now that I have the design finished and it's baked and cooled, I am ready to work on the painting. The painting process for me was a bit experimental as I wasn't certain exactly how I wanted the finished product to look, so I did several different layers of paint. Started with purple, and I like to do a lighter color between the wings to give the illusion that the dragon flesh is stretched thin and is more transparent in these areas. And I'm going to continue that trend up throughout the painting, but I do change it up a couple of times. I'm using acrylic paint, a couple of different brands here. In terms of paint, I always recommend getting the best paint that you possibly can. You're going to save money in the long run doing this because the more expensive paint is going to be more pigmented and thicker. You can always mix acrylic paint with water to thin it out or to make it go further. But if you get a really thin paint, you're going to have to do so many layers, and it's not going to end up looking as smooth. I loved the way that the metallic blue looks on the highlights of this piece. So here I am just touching it up with some dry brushing, where you put the paint on the brush and then wipe some of it off so that it's just residual, and then you brush it over the piece so that it catches the texture. And then I changed my mind and I decided to go green. Here I am using a technique where I am painting a color on and then wiping it off so that there's only the residue left between, like in the little crevices. This was something that I really enjoyed, and I thought that it created kind of an iridescent effect, made it look a little bit like a beetle. Now that everything is dried and I'm happy with the colors, or as happy as I'm going to be anyway, I am adding a varnish, and this is a satin finish varnish. And with the varnish, I'm putting it on one side, allowing it to dry, and then putting it on the other side, and then touching it up. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoy this video, it would really help my channel out if you would give it a like, subscribe to me, and share this video with someone else who you know would enjoy it as well.